Guy here, and welcome to the Stanley Parable. I'll fix my microphone here for a second. I do that at the beginning of every video. I accidentally knock my microphone up. So I decided to go back and play an older game. The Stanley Parable is pretty old by now. Actually, don't know how old, but it is older by now. And I played this a long while ago, and I barely remember anything. So, let's get into the game.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
No, let me out. I didn't mean to. It's locked behind me. Let me turn down my message. Woo! You won't let me open the door. Do anything. Did I break the game already? Or is this one of, like, what, the 37 endings that this game has? Let me out, head ass. Should I begin the game again? I'm gonna begin the game again. Let's go.
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
Where's Room 420?
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
I was just happy to find Room 420, Kyle.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Left. Cool, sounds like a plan. I don't think any of these open.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
How to solve a dispute with a coworker. Let it ball up inside you, take it out passive aggressively on other workers, resent coworkers for not supporting you more. It's great. What is hot? Target demographic, teenagers. Stripes. Requires more secondary research, colored in segment. The stock market is somewhere here. Everyone is unique. You most of all. Oh. That's one that can open.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
I don't know if I should listen to this guy, but So like I said, I haven't played this game.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Sounds like a plan, Action Man. This looks very different from that. That's a bathroom. Nothing. Hello.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Why does this sound like... Oh god, what's the song? Can't remember the song. Some song.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
The sound's just got a whole lot different real quick. You gotta check everywhere, people. You gotta check all spots. I don't know if I would trust this elevator. Loading, 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 loading.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him?
Because we're
This
a rebel.
question would not go unanswered for long.
That's great, Mr. Narrator, man. I am a rebel.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Or escape. Nah, Mind Control Facility. That sound just sounds cooler already than escape. Though escape has a nice ring to it.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
That is
What
impressive.
horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
This is very complex for something that's basically just a nuclear reactor. This is just a nuclear reactor with a bunch of TV screens in the middle. Bruh.
Now the monitors jumped to
Where's
life,
420?
their true nature revealed. Each
420!
bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many
47.
individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Can you flash the numbers again on the screen so I can...
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time?
47.
Was this the only reason he
Fuck.
was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
47. There we are. Right there.
No. He refused to believe it.
I want out.
He couldn't accept it. His
I can't
own
jump,
life
by the way.
in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Yes.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this
That's
very
pretty.
place. And as the cold
A lot
reality
of
of his
this game is
past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
There's striking imagery, don't get me wrong, but it just kind of leads off into nothing. This is just a big sphere. I'm guessing I pushed the correct button. I don't know what would have happened if I pushed it on! Yeah! This game has several endings, I remember.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty.
I'll do like 3
Was it
endings per episode.
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Cool. Ending number 1 done. Let's go. Easy clap. Alrighty, time to go for ending number 2.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Obviously,
Stanley decided to go to
I
the
know!
meeting. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
420! If I think that there's gonna, oh, sorry. I think there's gonna be one that just go opposite of him. And I think the broom closet one is another one.
When Stanley came to a set of
Nope.
2 open, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
You know it. Wow.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
It is a very nice room. I will give it that. I forgot I can crouch.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Alright, I'll leave. I get it.
Eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
That's a hazard waiting to happen. And not hazard as in the soccer player.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Shut up, I'm a rebel. Okay. I remember this one. You can either go up there, I think that's one ending, or you can jump off.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others?
No, actually.
Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
Yeah!
I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, Let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
I'll give you one chance.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
No. I'm sorry. But no.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Red might be my favorite color, but I like blue too. Blue's fun. Blue's a great color.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
Hey, look, a blue door. I love blue.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Thanks, bud. Glad you believe in me. Whoa.
You see? There's nothing here.
I don't remember this.
I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see.
There's another way to
Help me
go
here,
over
Stanley.
there.
Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees?
Hell yeah.
Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far.
Vehicles and skill tree
Tell you
sounds
what,
cool.
let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback.
Got you.
There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. A 1? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1?
Yes.
That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge.
You made it.
Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
I want to see this. A leaderboard? Yeah, it is a leaderboard. Worldwide leaderboard. Hey, where are we? Oh, I'm last. Thanks, bud. Appreciate it.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some play testing. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you?
No,
Perfect.
no.
Let me
Not at all.
boot it up.
Great. I love games. Ugh. My voice is not okay. I love games. Oh, God.
The baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice.
Is this
But of
supposed to-
course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
I'm just gonna let you do it. Hell. You're gonna...
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me?
Spite
Because
you.
if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain.
I can do that.
Let's
I'm down
see.
with that.
What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Let's go for it, bud. Let's go. Can't wait to play this new game. Or whatever game this is. Apparently we're not playing his game. See this? Oh, Minecraft!
Well, Stanley, is this any better? At last, the one thing you've always desired. A game I had absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough? Tell me that, Stanley. Will it ever be enough? I'll
I
say
love
this,
Minecraft.
I'm
I
done
love this.
making things for you.
Ooh,
From now
I like
on,
it.
I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose. Watch this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house.
Is he now? Oh,
This will go here. No, here. And then... Let's see, what does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all off, yes, it's complete. I made this, Stanley. Look at it. Gaze
Bruh, you're
upon
kidding
my
me.
work of art and feel ashamed at your own inadequacy. Ah, but you've only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make yourself comfortable. Isn't it grand? Isn't it perfect? It could only be better if... Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond. Diamond everything. Yes, yes, yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
I love Minecraft so much. Minecraft is one of my favorite games ever. Not my favorite.
Oh, my. It looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light?
No. Do I look like the guy that has a plan?
No. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5. Even the diamonds couldn't save this one. Okay, new game.
Don't hate on my bud Minecraft. Minecraft is dope. Minecraft is definitely top 3.
Yes! I don't even know what this game is, but I love it. You, trapped in a glass box with no way out, listening to me talk. Oh, it's inspired. I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm curious. Let's go find out what the hell this is.
We're in Portal. And I dig Portal.
Oh, it's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley. Your forte.
I love Portal.
Genius.
Top 10 games. Not top 5. I have a very select list.
No, actually, you know what? I think that's plenty. I really don't care much to see you stumble through any more of these games, and I highly doubt you're any wiser for the experience. Which is why, rather than continue to waste my time, I'm just going to leave you here. You can pretend you've beaten the game if it makes it any richer for you, but as for me, I've had enough. So, why don't you get cozy in this...
Beta! This is creepy. But cool. I love creepy. Horror games are probably some of my favorites. Favorite genre. I can't see shit. Oh, there we go. I can see it again. I do not like the sound of the carpet. This is the old office, isn't it? This is interesting. Very interesting. 425. Did we pass 427? No, there's my office. Oh. Oh. Okay. Interesting. Cool. Not it.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Oh, never mind. I thought I was like, do I need to begin the game again? Apparently no! I just need to, the end is never the end is loading. Oh god!
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
It's a lot. 420! Sorry. I'm gonna make that joke every single time I pass by that door. It's a lot of paper.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Sure, we'll do that this time. But I'm not gonna wait in the meeting room. I'm gonna go to the broom closet.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Oh, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
I got plenty of time, bro. Plenty of time. I'm just sweep my floor, you know, mess with the copper wire that apparently has radioactive symbol on it, monkey wrench, regular wrenches, you know, is that a nail gun? Duct tape? I love duct tape. I have duct tape somewhere. Give me duct tape. Is that pliers? That looks like a bucket of some sort. Clearly even cleaning something. What is love? Maybe don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. What is love? Maybe don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you. I've been a genius, not my lover. She's just a girl who thinks that I am the one. For a little bit. I'm gonna keep it going, boys. I'm gonna keep it going. I'm gonna keep waiting. Let's go. I'm the boy in your other phone, lighting up inside your drawer at home, all alone, pushing 40 in the friend zone. We talk and then you walk away every day. Oh, you don't think twice about me. Maybe you were right to doubt me, but if you give me just one night, you're gonna see me in a new light. Yeah, you give me just one night. When you see my face, hope it gives you hell, hope it gives you hell. I'm all out of songs. I don't know what else to sing. So let's just go. What if I go back?
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Bro! I'm gonna go downstairs. No. I refuse. I don't listen to your rules. Red light. Creating.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that.
Excellent.
And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. "I'm dreaming!" he yelled. "This is all a dream." Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared.
That's cool.
It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just...
Everyone has a cool voice.
He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want.
Feel that, Stanley?
I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal.
Damn, it's sad.
Everything will be fine. I am okay.
I'm not okay! Still here.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be
really
real.
red here.
Hear my voice. Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Don't tell me I did that.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work.
Okay.
But on this
That's
particular
Stanley
day,
up
her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
That's certainly an ending. That's ending number 3 for us. This is different. Wait a minute.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
He didn't do anything. The game is now paused, yes. That's the end of this episode. I've been recording for a little bit, and I think that it's time that I start actually getting ready for today. So if you like this video, tell me what I can do better, tell me what I did good, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!